The weekend starts for the Marlies right here at the Cross Insurance Arena in Portland, Maine, as they take on the Pirates, a team that is in fourth in the Atlantic and hoping to move up against the team the Marlies face tomorrow night, and that is the Providence Bruins. They'll finish out the weekend against the Albany Devils as they make their way back to Toronto. The Pirates in a complicated playoff situation as they battle the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, who are behind them, the Providence Bruins, who are slightly ahead of them, and of course they've also got an eye on the fourth spot over in the North Division, because if the Rochester Americans or St. John's Ice Caps don't gather up enough points or better winning percentage, then someone will cross over from the Atlantic Division. It could be these Portland Pirates, which means likely that they will face the Toronto Marlies in the first round of the playoffs. It'll sort itself all out in a little over a month. Well, longtime Toronto Marlie Greg McKegg finds himself here with the Portland Pirates after the trade that brought Zach Hyman over to the Toronto organization. And Greg McKegg spent a few games up with the Florida Panthers this season and now finds himself here with the Portland Pirates.
Yeah, it's been great. All the fans in the city have been great so far, and we've had a good start to the season, and just looking to make a playoff push here late.
Tough. You guys are in tough. You got to do about like 5 different permutations of trying to make the playoffs and positioning. Has it been that way for a good portion of the year?
Yeah, I guess we kind of did have a tough start, and got it going in November, and just picked it up from there. And like I said, we're making to look a playoff push here, and things are going well.
Got an opportunity to get some games in the National Hockey League as well. What was the experience like with Florida?
It was obviously a cool experience. They got a great team up there, and obviously they're making their own Stanley Cup push up there, and it was cool to see.
For head coach Sheldon Keefe, this weekend is about returning to the success that has driven the Toronto Marlies this season.
Well, I don't know so much if it's getting away from the structure or anything like that. It was I just feel we weren't quite competitive enough. Any of the mistakes that we made, I think we're just through not being tight enough, and a lot of that just comes from being competitive. When you're competitive, you get tight, and you take away time and space. And I felt we just didn't have the jump that we needed, against good opponents. So that's really where we took a step back, and we've obviously had time to reflect and get some things cleaned up, and hopefully the guys come in a little more motivated to participate and give the required level of competitiveness here this weekend.
Can you expect that kind of bump in the road over the course of a 76-game season?
I think you can. I think ultimately every team in the league has gone through a stretch like that. Ultimately we haven't, and that's why we are where we are in the standings. So I don't think we're immune to it, as we showed last weekend. The challenge obviously now is to stop the bleeding here. We got to come out and have a real good weekend. It's, for me, when we look at this stretch of the schedule here this weekend, it's been, for me, one of the tougher weekends of the season. So it comes at a maybe not an ideal time coming off the losing streak, but at the same time, it's a real good opportunity for our team to face some adversity and deal with it appropriately and rise to the challenge that we have here.
So 3 this weekend. First up, the Portland Pirates, and then the Providence Bruins on Saturday night, and finishing up with the Albany Devils on Sunday afternoon.